Om Tat Sat. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, to sage Narada and all the sages and saints, and to each of you divine soul watching today's satsang. So today we will be covering Sutra number 14 from the Narada Bhakti Sutras, chapter 1, Nature of Parabhakti or Supreme Devotion. Commentaries by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji, and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So let's get started. Sutra 14, chapter 1. Loko api tavadeva kintu bhojanadi vyaparastu asharira dharanavadhi. Again, loko api tavadeva किंतु भोजनादि व्यापारस्तु अशरीरा धारणावधि. Meaning that worldly duties also should be performed as long as there is awareness of the externalized world. On the other hand, the natural functions of eating food, etc., will continue as long as the body lasts. So let's go deeper. It was stated before that actions must be in conformity with the divine will and in harmony with life's spiritual pursuit. All actions. So actions in conformity with divine will are now broadly divided into spiritual activities and worldly activities. Apart from worship, works of worship, promoting devotion in others, repetition of mantra, meditation, varied disciplines on the spiritual path, all these things an aspirant must do. But he must also perform, in addition to spiritual, he must also perform his karma or duties towards family, friends, and society. Because holistic aspect is dharma. It is not just one thing. He must participate in all social practices that are in harmony with the spiritual goal. So we always say spirituality is a 24/7 process. It's not just when you are meditating. It is whenever you are doing any activity, all your actions. So you make it part of your daily breath, your daily process, where you get ingrained into it. So we must, however, the aspirants must make sure that wherever they are, whether they're with family, friends, or whatever, they apply the practical needs and make sure that their spiritual alignment is not insecure. So they have to secure that first. So he must discourage those practices that keep masses away from the spiritual values of life. So if you can join a satsanga or you can share a skill, that is wonderful. But if you are just going to go with a bunch of friends that you know are just going to talk worldly things and suck up your time, then it is better to opt out. This is, you have to use your own judgment and common sense to see, is it going to help you in your spiritual goal or is it going to detract from that path? In the case of an enlightened devotee, however, the very ego sense has been surrendered to the will of God. Hari Ichha, Ishwar Ichha. You become an agent of God, a divine channel of God. So therefore everything, every thought is in reconciled agreement with God's will. His intellect has become intuitive and his feeling free of egoistic aberrations. According to Raj Yoga, he possesses the dagdha state of the kleshas, the seed is burnt up. So basically the karmic seed that is unburnt or secure for others will keep on germinating. For these sages and saints who are enlightened, their seeds are burnt up. So they are totally secure. They will never, the karmas will never germinate again because they have reached that state of dagdha avastha. Because of the burnt up state of the impressions, though performing actions, an enlightened devotee does not create new karmas. He sees the operation of the divine will through his personality and is not attached to actions or his results. This is the same teaching in the Bhagavad Gita also, that continue to do your duty but do not be too attached to the end results. So just as roasted seeds cannot sprout, the unconscious impressions of an enlightened devotee, though sustaining the actions of his daily life, do not produce new karmas because they are already enlightened and only the prarabdha karmas remain and all the other seeds are burnt up. So therefore they will never have to worry about a future embodiment again. They have forever terminated that cycle of life and death. As long as the body exists, its biological needs must be attended to. Food, drink, rest, sleep, similar functions cannot be abandoned. So we must be realistic and make sure we have a provision for that. But even these are performed by the sage in the spirit of worshipping the Supreme and terminating with the death of his body. So the body becomes a tool to provide everything that God has as a plan. So we become an instrument of God's divine channel. Various descriptions of Parabhakti or supreme devotion continue. And so now we will be ending this video here, but starting tomorrow from sutra number 15, this is the 14th sutra we have covered, but from 15 to 24 sage Narada will give us different descriptions of parabhakti. So it is very exciting because he will be sharing views and opinions of other highly elevated sages and saints who have also achieved self-realization, and sage Narada, due to his compassion, wants to give us the holistic view. These sages and saints were very open-minded. They were not jealous of other people at all. They see themselves in everybody. So all the other sages and saints were revered, and that is what sage Narada is also doing. And we will cover Sutra 15 tomorrow. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.